Shows what I got done this week. My welder's back down again. The one wire joint broke off due to fatigue, I guess. It's right by the handle, so it twists a lot there. I'll get that fixed again. But anyway, what I was doing was welding up more gussets. Same thing down here. Put 4 in, and so I've added these ones. Same thing on the other side. Just bracing up this central bearing mount, because if anything can generate vibrations, it's definitely an engine. So I got it rolled there on its side, and you have to roll it around because I like welding. I can do vertical or horizontal, but it's very hard to do upside down. So I roll it around as much as I can, but she's got to be up around 200 pounds now, so it's not exactly easy to manhandle around anymore. But anyway, so the rest of the video shows what I've been up to this week to make it this far. Got a bit of a rainbow going on here. Was better a minute ago. Of course, by the time you get the camera, not so great. Anyway, I was just trying to weld on the frame here when my welder decided to have an issue. So I put this brace on the third bearing mount there, as well as the diagonal. But my welder started spitting wire out without me pulling the trigger, so I got to dissect it to fix it there. So that's what I'm doing right now. So when I said I had to fix my welder, I meant it. I've got the, if you're wondering how one of these little 110 volt MIG welders works, I've got the gear drive for the wire apart here. So I'll try to show it if I can find a friendly spot for my light. It's just a 12 volt DC motor, and then it's got you can't see that very good. It's got a gear train in it there. So the DC motor is controlled by the knob as to how fast it moves your wire, and then it's just got three gears in it there that slow the motor down, give it more torque, and that all fits in this second side of the gearbox here. And then we've got ground wire, everything. It feeds out. It mounts this way in there, and your wire, your welding wire, feeds through here, and then welding gas, if you have it, will feed through there. Then you got a ground wire, and you got 2 wires that come up and go to the handle. And that's where my problem is. Here's your make sure you can see that. So this is the welding tip here. And then inside it, it's kind of a Mickey Mouse thing here. When you squeeze the trigger here, it just slides upwards and touches against this contact. So there's the yellow wire and the green wire that connect the circuit leading to your 12 volt DC motor that starts the wire to move. So somewhere in here, these 2 wires are touching together when I'm not pressing the switch, so it starts spitting wire out when I'm not touching it. It just started it tonight. It did it a couple weeks back, but it was just I just took the end apart here and bent it a little bit, and everything was fine. But tonight I had to like flex the wire here and going up and everything, and it still, in the end, it just kept on feeding. So I had to just, turn the power off and bring it inside and try to dissect it and find out what's going on. My solution, I think, is to just say replace this green wire with an external wire that runs down and run it into the machine where it would, so basically bypass the wire. I hope that works. The only problem is if it's not that wire and it like unshorts in effect. Now it's got a short. That's what's causing the problem here. It's like these two wires are just joined together somewhere. Well, if it unshorts, then if I've replaced the wrong wire, the machine won't work. But I guess I could run a second wire in that case. But anyway, my wife says, well, why don't you just buy a new welder? And you know, these things, I can't remember, you might have been $200 on sale or something, but I'm not quite ready to give up on it yet. You know, I got a pretty good collection of screws in there and pieces, but in my opinion, it's a long ways from dead yet. So I'm quite willing to put a couple pieces of wire on it if I have to make it work. So anyway, but I'm not out welding on that frame right now, unfortunately. So lots of fun. This is what the other side of the welder looks like for those of you that are curious. So you got a cooling fan here. It just moves air around inside there, keeps things cool. So you got a primary and a secondary transformer there. Don't ask me which one's which, but then you got some electronics, could be diodes and things there, and some electronic controls there, going to switches and various things. But that's basically what it is in there. It's just a big transformer that reduces the voltage and increases the amperage so that you can weld with it. So we're saving a life today. Some bird fell down my chimney. Just put him down on the concrete here. Easy. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, I went downstairs and heard some scratching in the furnace pipe, so I unscrewed it, and he went up towards the chimney. So we put a pillowcase over the vertical pipe, and we had to wait about 15 minutes, and then next thing you know, he's trapped in the pipe. Anyway, here's my my farm-oiled welding machine. I bypassed the control wires that go to the trigger, and just used a lamp cord. Funny thing about a lamp cord, it does actually have a positive and a negative. You can identify which one's which. If you see closely there, the one of them has these lines on it, and the other one doesn't. It's just round. So I marked it with a marker, black on the one with the lines, and replaced the green wire with that, and soldered them together, and then inside I just used crimp connections. So it works again. See, I don't know where the short was, but I just chose to bypass the wires rather than screw around with it. So I'm about to weld some more gussets on with it. Took me about